I am your executive host, Gabriel Von Graves, produced through Unbox Media LLC, a media company dedicated to storytelling, investigation, audience engagement, and conversations that challenge the ordinary. Tonight, we invite you into a world that exists just beyond explanation, a place where folklore, eyewitness accounts, haunted history, and personal experience collide. Darkwoods Paranormal was built on one simple idea that not everything can be explained away. This show is not about cheap jump scares. It's not about manufactured entertainment. It's about real conversations with real investigators and the possibility that there are still mysteries in the world we have not fully understand. Whether you're a believer, a skeptic, a simple curious about what waits in the dark tonight, you are welcome here. Before we begin, we want to recognize one of tonight's sponsors. Shaker's Cigar Bar, located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, Shaker's is known across country for its haunted history, his unbelievable food, and it's one of America's most intriguing paranormal locations. A place where history, legend, and the unexplained continue to meet. We thank Shaker's Cigar Bar for supporting independent paranormal medias like this. Joining me tonight, as always, my co-host, producer, and paranormal researcher, Raven Knight. Raven, how are you doing?
I am fabulous. I'm happy, 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 happy to be here. That was a lot of happies.
Yeah,
How
can
are
you
you,
take back
Gabriel?
just a little bit more?
All
Just
right, I'm going to
yeah,
take away two of them,
I love it.
but I can't do
Well,
math, so I don't know how many that was.
all right. Raven has spent years studying paranormal phenomenon, haunted locations, and the psychology surrounding supernatural experiences. Her insight, research, and perspective continue to help here shape Darkwood's Paranormal into what it is today. And tonight, we are joined by a very special guest, Christina, founder of Medusa Paranormal, which I love that name, and creator of the Wrath
Thank
Spirit
you.
app. Oh, you're welcome. For for more than 30 years, Christina has immersed herself in paranormal investigations long before ghost hunting became mainstream entertainment. Inspired by classic programs just like us all, Unsolved Mysteries, Sightings, Haunted Lives, and The X Files. She developed a fascination with the unexplained after experiencing her own encounter with the supernatural as a young age. What makes her approach unique is that she relies not only on equipment, but her instinct, observation, sound, smell, atmosphere, an old school paranormal investigator in every sense of the word. She's also known for collecting haunted objects and spirit linked items. I'm very interested to find out more about that. Sharing firsthand paranormal experience from years spent investigating the unknown. Tonight's conversation will explore hauntings, spiritual encounters, haunted objects, old school investigation methods, and the question that continues to follow all of us who walk into the dark: what if some legends are real? This is Darkwoods Paranormal, and tonight we plan on having a wonderful episode, so thank you for joining us. Christina, tell us about yourself. We're so happy that you're here.
Hi guys, thank you for having me.
Hello.
This is great. Um, I live up here in Washington, a great state up here. We live on 10 acres. This is Everybody says their property might be haunted, but we know our property is haunted. um, it is one of my favorite places up here to be. We live on 10 acres. I have tons of animals. I stay at home, so I'm a stay at home partner, and my other partner, he works for a driving school. You know, I don't really know how to explain myself except for that paranormal is my jam, and it's like, if you can say I'm kind of obsessive about it, I'm really obsessive about it. And like, even my partner, he does not share my passion like I do, which kind of makes me sad. But stuff. I do love to collect haunted items. I am starting not a museum, but I might like my own collection, and I really like
Cool.
seeing what other people have to offer out there.
What is
Yeah, that
your
is
I'm
very
sorry,
cool.
I don't know what's. I'm getting nervous here.
No, you're good.
Go
So
ahead.
what is your
You're doing great, actually.
most favorite haunted item that you have?
Oh, boy. You're diving right in.
Diving right into it.
He's like, I'm not even waiting. We're going
No.
right for that. We're
Hold,
going right.
hold on a second. Sorry.
It makes noise.
I like that.
I forgot to turn off all the toys
No,
for
no,
all
no.
of
I
it.
love it.
So this is Barnaby.
Barnaby. Okay.
He's Barnaby. He seems like a very simple little bear. I do find things on eBay and such. He was one of my eBay finds, and anybody can say anything is haunted, and you take your chances when you purchase something online, whether it is. All I have to say, he has rung true as thank you. He has rung true as far as being haunted. He doesn't even like being picked up, so like a lot of energy here. I do have videos on my YouTube and my TikTok of him coming through. He's very clear when he comes through. I didn't open him for 3 months because I was kind of the energy that comes through him is very intense. And I was very hesitant to open him. And you can go back over here. I turn those off. Sorry.
No, I love it.
He's very intense energy. He didn't get open for 3 months, and when I communicated with him, he said some very foul names. The second time I communicated him, he said his name very, very clearly, and like I had never spoken to anybody what his name was or anything. My partner's like, oh, okay, she's got another supposedly haunted toy,
Right.
and
Right.
and you know, and then he doesn't like do anything like knocking anything over anything, but he's very clear through the spirit box, loves the EMF meter, loves to flicker the lights consistently, not consistently, but like when he does it, it's like, never had any of that activity before. So I have to say that we have, I don't know if it's weird, we've kind of formed a relationship. I don't think
Sure.
anybody kind of understood what it's all about. To me, he's like a grumpy old man. He's like a grumpy old man that just wants everybody to mind their own business, do their own thing, leave him alone, and he's fine. You start
Messing with him.
happening.
Yeah.
So I'd have to say
Wow.
that's my favorite haunted guy. So that would be Barnaby.
What is the history of Barnaby? What
Thank
did he
you.
does he ever tell you about what history, where he came from, what he is, what spirit he is?
Yeah, that's a good question.
No, I have not really delved into that with
Okay.
me. Right now he's just content. The background that I did get on him was that he had haunted a family, and that a priest of sorts had come in and
Okay.
gotten messed up because he doesn't like religion. Supposedly, the story is that he's very much against religious anything, and I've never brought anything religious around him because I'm not church based like that. I guess you would say I have my own beliefs, so there's nothing. I can't say I don't have crosses. I have my crosses for investigation and stuff, but we don't, there's nothing around him like church wise. And I think that makes him more comfortable. I don't know if it's weird to say that, but
No, no.
it feels to me like he has a real huge issue with religion. So
So I'm curious about you acquire these. You said something about eBay, right? So you acquire these haunted objects, or Barbie, for example.
Right.
How do you know that they're haunted? Like, is this something that you go out and specifically can buy, like a haunted item? And then, if that's the case, like, so you get it home, and then what is the first step that you do when you have these?
like I
Good
said,
point.
it's a risk buying online. Okay,
Right.
it's a risk. Anybody can go on one of those sites and make up a story and sell a doll as haunted. You take your chances. So, that being said, I do look into. I know I do look into like seller reviews and stuff because that'll tell you a lot. There's one, actually, a gentleman that I follow, goes by Phantoms Follows, and he's actually a rehomer of haunted items, and he has very legitimate stuff. A lot by the history that the seller has and the people that have, you know, purchased the items. But I also do go by feeling, like with Barnaby. I'm like, what's the deal here? He's a simple bear. What's the deal? But why? But I just felt like it needed to come home. I don't just bring anything home. It's more of like when I look at it, I have to connect to it. And on that note, I know it's really weird, but if you go through my TikTok and you look at a lot of my doll videos, everybody will say sorry on my comments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And sorry is a religious superstition of looking into a haunted item's or object's eyes and saying sorry out of respect so as not to bring that energy back in.
Sure.
Type thing. So like literally like 99% of all my comments are sorry. That's all I ever see on there. And so it does go a lot by, feeling the energy. I don't know how I would feel an energy through a phone, but maybe I just know. It's
Sometimes you just know, like when I adopted my cat, right? Like I was like, he's great. I love him. I want that one. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you sometimes have that feeling where you
You
just
do.
know,
You do. Yeah.
you don't have to necessarily. So, but that makes me wonder, like, so you can kind of sense things, or you feel connected to some of these things that you own, dolls, stuffed bear, whatever it is. Would you say that you're a medium, or would you just say that you are just basing this off of, or is it not mediumship at all, and it's just you have this, I don't know how else to word it, but an intense feeling?
No, it's great that you bring that up because I've actually just started a course in mediumship
Oh, very cool.
and learning about mediumship and the different types of mediumship
Mm.
because I've always felt like more of a connection to spirit, and I want to learn how my feelings, how I'm processing what those feelings are. If I notice if I have the goosebumps, if I'm holding Barnaby and I'm getting emotional, where is that energy coming from? Why am I sitting here holding a teddy bear talking about him and getting emotional?
Mm.
Right.
Sure. Sure.
So, if I may
Reason
ask,
for that. He's just a teddy. Go ahead.
what attracts a spirit to an object in your perspective? We do a lot of traveling, and we dolls, teddy bears seems to be kind of the go-to, and
Hmm.
I'm unclear about what it is about those objects that attract spirits. Can you enlighten us a little bit?
Dolls, my sense, well, maybe that goes for teddy bears too. Maybe it can be more of the person was attached to that item. With dolls, I think that they're human like. It's like almost like a human vessel. Oh my gosh, that looks cute. Maybe if I attach myself to this, be human again. It's the doll is a very similar thing to what we are right now. Dolls are
Right.
replicas of children, of humans. Um, Toys, like I said, that it could be something that was somebody was really attached to. Um, Take for instance, okay, my like I'm not saying that it was haunted by any means or could have been haunted. Like my friend Daryl, when he grew up, he had this little since he was born, right? And he always had that bear. And I always wondered when he passed away if maybe his spirit went into that bear because he was so attached to it.
Mm.
Um, I think energies will attach themselves to things that that's hard. I'm trying to find like the right words for this.
Hmm.
Maybe that's just, to me, it's like with the dolls, it's more, it's, I think they're attaching to it because it's more human like, and
Mm-hmm.
That makes
just be
sense,
because
right?
it was
Yeah.
close to somebody. There's just like so many things of why a spirit could attach, I guess you could say. I don't have real one answer.
Oh, that's okay.
um
No, I think that was a pretty good answer. Absolutely.
No,
So,
I think so
yeah.
too. Actually, makes a lot of
you
sense. You know.
you had your first paranormal experience at a young age. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
um yeah. No, I mean, okay, I was 14, 13 or 14. We lived on a property that was a very, very old property. Like, it was used to be like an old hippie commune back in the day. It was like 40 acres owned by this one family. And it was like a community type living. Not just the family lived there, but like you had your whole mix of people in and out through the years, people that
Sure.
died there, people that were born there on their property. So all these energies on this property, and I grew up there from probably like 8 years old till I was almost 17. We lived on the property in the main house, and as kids, out there in the woods, we never used flashlights or anything. We ran all over that property, all up and down the mountains,
Nice.
and never thought about having a flashlight or anything. We just knew the little paths and everything. So I was
Sure.
going to my friend's up the path, which was up at the top of the hill. She was up here. We lived down here. And it was definitely dark. It was summertime. So it had to have been about after 10 o'clock because, summer, I mean, 9:30. So it had to have been like 10 or 11 o'clock, the moon kind of coming up, and I'm walking up this path and I see somebody walking towards me, right? And I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, well, maybe Charlie coming down to meet me halfway down the trail, right? And I'm just like walking, and I'm watching it walk closer, and I'm like, who is that, right? Because I couldn't really see it. All I could see was dark hair and like a white dress, like a white
Mm.
summer dress. Who is that, right? And I kind of stopped and like shook my head, and it just like dissipated, right? Like right in front of my eyes. And I was like, what? And I'm just like, what was that? What was that? Right. And I didn't even go to Charlene's house. I turned around and I went home, and like it bothered me for like the next 2 or 3 days. I couldn't get it out of my head. What is this figure? Who was this person? I know it was there. I couldn't see really a face because it was dark, and it was walking toward me, shadows and whatnot, but then it just was gone. And I finally brought it up to my mom. I'm like, Mom, back then, you don't talk about, but I mean, people were skeptics. There you go, skeptics. I'm like, do I tell my mom this or do I not tell my mom this? What do I do? So I'm like, Mom, I gotta tell you something. And I was also, being 14, I had just started, 420. And my mom's like, you sure you want? I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm like, I wasn't. And she's like, well, what did it look like again? I told her, I said, I'm like, well, she here and like a white summer dress. I'm like, but I couldn't see her face. And she's like, and she just kind of got like really pale. And I'm like, what? And she's like, you just described my friend's daughter that passed away. Probably
Hmm.
She passed away like a year or so before I was born. She had been walking back from the swimming hole up around this corner, this sharp corner on the, and a semi had come around and unalived her.
Ooh.
Oh,
But she had lived on the property.
Mhm.
And my mom's just like, she's like, you just described Tamara,
wow.
Sabota's daughter. And I was like, yeah, that was like my first real experience. And I was just like, and it's always stuck with me, like right now, like touching something, like it was right freaking there. It was it will always stick with me to the day I
Mhm.
am unalived. So
Wow,
yeah,
that is a crazy story.
it
Wow.
is.
So how
For
did you
people to
go?
see full apparitions,
Right.
go ahead. You don't see
How
those often.
No,
No, and
no, you
you
don't.
don't. No, not like that. And then to have that kind of validated via a story of somebody who actually did pass. I mean, that is crazy. That is a crazy,
Yeah,
crazy
my
story.
mom, like her paste whiteness, dude. She was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not." It's like, "You're my mom. I'm talking to you about this. It's bothering the heck out of me. I can't get it out of my head."
Right.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a crazy one. I do. I
So,
get emotional when I talk about these things. I'm so sorry.
oh
That
no,
is
no, it's
another.
all good. It's all good. It means it's real.
You
So
you were
that's
talking
okay.
about the mediumship thing, and that's like I said, another reason I'm diving into the mediumship thing, um, or to explore what I'm feeling more inside, because I get weird like this when I'm out doing my investigations and stuff. It's a feeling. So
Well, we'd had that too. Like the when we did Skippy's. When we did
Skippy.
that investigation at Skippy's bar, Gabriel, we had the bar owner was down in the basement of Skippy's, and she was trying to communicate with somebody who she thought was possibly who was haunting the
Hmm.
bar,
Yep.
and all of a
mhm.
sudden, just this huge
Right.
wave of emotion just swept over her. Like, I mean, she was fine, and then
Yeah,
all of a sudden, it just hit her, and then she was just so overwhelmed with emotion. So we know that that happens in this field, and
yeah,
I think especially if you're somebody who's empathic and who can take on those, like who takes on those feelings, like you just for somebody who is not empathic, you don't understand how much feeling you take on when you're around people
that's
all day, every day.
empathic. That's the
Yeah.
word. That's the word I was looking for. The
It
more
can be very
empathic the
intense. Yeah.
feeling, yeah, it can get very super intense for sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. All right. So what's up? Next experience? I'm sorry.
So, as if I can add to what Raven's experience was,
Mhm.
Skippy's bar was a nice little hangout bar in a small little town in Barron, Wisconsin, and we had the pleasure of investigating it with the owner who had that
Mhm.
attachment. So if you're in the area, a
Mhm.
good place to hang out, But
Yeah.
it, I think personal experience like that does help. And it is a natural reaction to have when you feel emotional because that just tells you that it's real, and I love that. So you named
Yeah.
your paranormal group Medusa Paranormal.
My my own paranormal page, yes, my own
Okay,
personal paranormal page is Medusa Paranormal.
I like it.
I I like to think like Medusa, she turns everybody to stone, so she's kind of like a keeper of souls,
I like where
because
you went with that.
she turns them to stone. She turns them to stone, but she has their souls. I feel like my residents, beings that they're attached to something that's solid, they're kind of wrapped in stone, but they're still a
Mm.
soul. They just need somebody to take care of them. She was mean in her sense, but she had her reasons
I was gonna say,
for
didn't she
sure.
have her reasons? Like, I feel like in Greek mythology, there was a reason that Medusa turned the way she did, and she's a
Well,
very
people were mean
The
to
misunderstood.
her, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was a
she was.
curse.
I
So
can't remember
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact gods or who they were, but a god slept with Medusa and his wife found out and put a curse on her
right, snakes in the hair and all that fun stuff.
upon any man she would ever look upon would be turned to stone. And it wasn't even her fault. It was his fault for cheating on his wife. So she took the brunt end of it. But
Oh,
anyways,
Medusa.
yeah.
It's
So
an
Medusa
interesting.
Paranormal, keeper of souls.
I like it. So
Go ahead.
you mentioned earlier
Yeah.
that your property is haunted. What is haunted about your property? If you don't mind enlightening us.
Yes, we need stories
O-
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are the second owners of this property. The very first owner was Lorraine Donlin, and she owned this property. We've owned it for 10 years now, and she owned it for probably about 4.
Okay.
She had the main house up here, and then she had her mother who lived in a little trailer down below on the lower property. So like when we first came up on this property, I just had this feeling. We were looking for a piece of property, you know, our home we were finally buying forever type thing. And I'm like, it's got to be a piece of property out somewhere. I can't have neighbors. I've got to, you know, be able to do my own thing, have my animals, you know, do my paranormal stuff or whatever. And I just, when we saw this, I was like, this property has energy. And Ronnie's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, this property's haunted. And he's like, no, 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 you know, and I'm like, no, it's gotta be, you know, and me being me, I look up the history and I found out Lorraine passed here in the house. Her mom passed down in the trailer. Her son, I think, passed in the war. I think he's buried in another state somewhere. But you know, so there's history here. And so we buy the house, and like the first few months in, I'm sitting here on the chair, sort of like I am now, and I'm watching TV, and we have a window right here, and it looked like somebody walked past the window and that they were coming to the front door. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, well, maybe that's Mike, because we kind of rented to this guy. He had his little trailer, and when we moved here, we're like, you know, rent him for a few months. I'm like, maybe he's coming up here to, you know, do some laundry or something. So I get up and somebody at the door, and there's nobody there. She does this on a regular basis. Now I finally sit here and I wait for somebody to knock on the door to make sure somebody's at the door before I make the trip to the door. She likes to tap you on the shoulder when you're like least expecting it, especially when I'm doing dishes. If she feels like she's funny. She's funny. She has her energy here. She's not going anywhere. And with her about the property, I'm like, so what do you think about us being here on the property, about us buying the property? This is my property. That's all she says. This is my property. And that's like when she comes back, this is my property. And I feel like she kind of just watches over us. She's kind of like that motherly feeling. There's her, and I'm always finding anytime I outside like doing something, I feel like I need to like move some leaves or something. I find another piece of her gardening, like stuff that she had planted all over the property and that had been overgrown. And I'm like, I really need to go over there and clean that out. You know, I don't know why I need to hack back those blackberry bushes, but you know, I need to get in there and do something. And I always find flowers or something that she's planted. So, I have a really cool connection with her as far as like the gardening thing too, because she was really into nature in her property and she just loved to fill it with flowers. So,
Aw.
but the whole walking past the window thing, like I said, I actually, my friend Debbie experienced it the other day. I was in the kitchen and she was sitting watching TV and she's like, somebody's coming to the door. I walked to the door. I'm like, no, there's nobody here. She's like, no, there's somebody here. And she looked at me. I'm like, that's Lorraine. So yeah. Yeah. So
Wow.
I love our property. I love the fact that she's here. I love that she's comfortable with us being here. She hasn't raised a ruckus in the last 10 years, you know. So everybody's cool.
That's a
Yeah.
fascinating story. It's always
I
good
really
to
like
have a connection to a property like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
it is.
you, if you don't mind, I want to kind of redirect for a second and go to how you
Hmm?
do your investigations, kind of old school and more earthbound. Um, when you investigate, what is your favorite instrument to use?
My favorite would have to be I know it's like, you know, just a radio sweep. And people are like, okay, well, you know, that could be music, it could be a station, it could be that. But I've gotten some very legitimate evidence from spirit sweeps that, saying my name on my Wrath app, even on, I don't know if you guys have seen the little, is it the twin paranormal little Sam and Colby? Have you seen that little box thing
I've seen.
that they have, the little, yeah, that that I got that one, and I was like, okay, what is this all going to be? Because usually I would try to use a spirit app, and like I said, I'm not a fan of them. So I did buy one little radio, and I spirit sweep radio that was, like, and I've used that thing for years, but I've gotten my most legitimate evidence off spirit sweeps. Also about, is my video stalling?
A little bit, but it's manageable.
Okay. I'm just making sure, because our internet. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
No,
Spirit
you
Sweep
end up freaking
Radio.
me weird. It was great. We just laugh at you. Don't worry about it. Continue.
Gabriel.
Yeah, there we go.
um,
It's just like your slow mo. What is this? I don't know, like Vogue, but not really. It was like something.
I like
Sorry.
it. There we go.
Spirit Sweep. I used to use the copper rods a lot, but those things, I feel like if there's just too much movement, they can swing either which way. Like I said, I rely more on my senses, my sight, my hearing, and smell. Another thing Lorraine does, in the back bedroom, which was her bedroom, every once in a while I'll walk back there and I'll get a whiff of old lady perfume.
Old lady.
You
I
know,
mean, what does old lady
things
perfume
like that.
smell like?
It smells like really florally,
Oh,
with
okay.
like a lot of baby powder in it, like a lot of talc powder with
Okay.
floral in it. It's really, really weird.
It was a good
I don't know.
question.
Hold on a second.
Yeah,
Needed
I'm trying to
some
imagine it. That's all. I like it.
You don't know
Yeah,
what
but
old
no, I
ladies
mean,
smell like.
I don't know.
well, think about it. If you're dealing with a spirit that was a tobacco pipe smoker,
Oh, absolutely.
maybe he's gonna be smoking a pipe. Maybe you're
Right.
gonna get a whiff of tobacco.
Right.
Maybe he was a drinker. Maybe you're gonna get a whiff of whiskey.
Right.
I mean, maybe he worked out in the cattle or whatever. You're gonna get a rancher's smell.
Right.
I try to go by smell too. Definitely hearing.
Mm.
To knocks, whispers. I love EVP recordings.
Mhm.
Just like a lot of the old school stuff. That's really what I'm into. All the stuff like, like the apps. Um, it just doesn't do it for me, I guess you would say. Okay, we're gonna Zach Baggins it.
Zach Bagan of it all.
There it is.
I did it. I
You
did it.
did it.
All right. Okay. So
Let's go there.
all these things that they use on there, I'm like, how? Why do you need that to detect a spirit? Why can't you just base it off it knocking something off a wall, or or even the EMF meter? I'm okay with.
Mhm.
That. Lighting up an EMF meter, coming through a spirit box. But why do you need all these screens with all these little stick figures and why? I don't get it. They went from really cool GA Ghost Hunter Adventures to it's hard for me with that show, because they've kind of, like, mainstream media, like he was talking about Bigfoot, how they've taken it and just kind of blown it up. Hollywood has
Commercialized.
blown it up. The Baggins has blown it out of proportion. Okay,
Zach is never going to come on
it's
this
just
program,
not.
The
Raven.
Bagans.
Never.
The
Never.
Bagans.
Bagans.
I
Bagans, you
love it.
used to be a wedding DJ, okay? Stop it
Oh,
already.
I used to
Zach,
be a wedding
baby,
DJ
listen, we're still
too.
buds. Come on up, man. Come to the
Listen,
show.
listen,
Don't listen to him.
Zach
You're good.
Bagans.
No.
We
No.
have so much in common. I too
Oh,
used to be a wedding
But
DJ.
you didn't know that he was a wedding DJ?
No, I had no idea.
Okay,
Mm.
I'll send you some information on a podcast I just watched recently. I won't name names,
once again,
um,
Okay.
Zach, I'm very, very
but
sorry for the hostility, my friend. Um,
but
He would
they
find it
had
funny,
they
you know?
had
He would find it funny.
they had a guest on there recently that understands so much more about that man and who he really is, and I lost so much more respect for him. And I'm so sorry to say that right now, but I'm just gonna say it. I
no,
lost respect.
no, Zach, listen, it's them, not me, my friend. Come on, you come on to Darkwood's Paranormal.
Come on, Zach, let's
We will
do
treat
this.
you
Let's
good.
talk
Don't worry
about it
about it.
because I
Don't
have
listen to him,
so
Zach.
many questions.
You're still king, my friend. Come on.
I do have questions, though. You know, we have questions. We would love for him to come on and explain himself,
Yeah.
tell us his stories, and answer the questions for
Hmm.
So
sure.
this isn't the
Yeah,
hate Zach Bacon of it all show, you ladies. I tell you. Poor Zach. Give him some credit here. He employs his mom, I believe, at his haunted thing.
I
That's
met
kind of
his
cool.
mom. Yeah, she
Yeah,
actually
she's actually cool.
she sold me something. I don't remember what I
Yeah.
bought at the haunted museum, but I did go to the haunted museum.
Love
Again,
you,
like
Zach.
you know, you've got a lot of haunted items. Kind of like you know, you have haunted items. He has haunted items in a
All
museum
right.
in Vegas, and his mom was actually the cashier that day. So I actually met his
That's
mom.
cool.
Yeah,
she's
So
probably pretty cool though, huh?
she was nice. She was a nice lady. I don't know her name or anything, but she was
Yeah,
a Zach Bacon's mom. You're nice. Thank you for being awesome.
yeah. I guess I just wish they would. I wish they would have like not blown it up so much with all the
Yeah.
technology and stuff because I feel like there's so much more that or so much that you can do from such small things.
well,
Sure.
on that, to be fair, you know, you would not be able to have a long running episode show if you
Yeah.
didn't have to make things make believe. One of the things we talk a lot about here, and I'm sure you could help us out, Christina, on this is one of the disappointments that I have
Mm.
found in doing investigations, people that rent houses, is kind of a money grab, and I and Raven kind of like to gravitate, I think, to more organic things, things that aren't so popular all the time, because I think if it is haunted, if there are spirits there, it's got to be exhausting. People coming in and trying to make you do parlor trips, and we've been to beautiful, beautiful properties, and they put things that are associated for hauntings, like dolls and just they just randomly put it, and I think it takes away from the environment. So we're it. I think we try to go to a lot of festivals for paranormal. A lot of them seem to be canceling and stuff. I think
Mm.
it is because they are running their course, and I think people do get tired of the commercialization of the paranormal world. And
Yeah.
we think that it's best to kind of go to more of an organic because you can't get bored of the organic because it always the results are never there. And when everything, the Zach Bagan of it all, is paranormal, nothing really is. So we actually like going to investigations that, doesn't turn out anything. That means that there is some still mystery in the world.
Mm.
Yes, yeah, yeah, and you're right. They did, they've opened the world as far as the paranormal a lot for the community, and stuff. But yeah, like you said, the more organic nature of it is what I don't know, like what exactly what you said. You took the words right out of my mouth.
No,
That's
that
what
was
I'm gonna
really
say.
long-winded, and I don't
And
think I could say it again. So it was great. I mean,
no, no, you actually hit on a little note about like the commercialization of a lot of places now and like
like
making money
Bigfoot,
off of them,
Mhm. Which is really
like
disappointing
the
when
Warren
you are somebody
Museum.
who
right? The more,
yeah, and, you know, with like for us, for example, like we want our goal obviously is to try to figure out like is something actually happening, right? Like
hmm
that's what our goal is. And we want to go in there and maybe, you know, tell a story for somebody who can't tell their story anymore. But a lot of this ends up being like Gabriel was saying, like people just going in there and being like, "Oh, parlor tricks." Like, "Hey, you know," and it doesn't help much of anybody, to be
But
honest.
No,
Especially
there are those
spirit.
wonderful places like Shaker Cigar Bar in
Mm,
Wisconsin that actually just let history be history, and that's what I
mm,
love
it
about
needs
that
love.
place. Bob, the owner, he literally expresses the need to understand the history of the property. He has ghost hunts. We've been to a couple. In fact, we've had one of his tour guides on this show, and
Yeah.
we seem to gravitate to the places that look at the history and doesn't, and they don't actually sit there and tell you what you're going to expect. But listen, these things exist within these walls. Come experience it, like
Mm-hmm.
Shaker Cigar Bar. That's why we love facilities like that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, I just totally lost where I was going with that. You were
That's
talking
okay. I
about
I have a way of just making people zone out. It's fine. Not a problem for me. I'm
yeah.
used to it.
If people are quiet, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's
No.
fine. So,
Oh, you were talking. Okay, yeah. You were talking about the Bigfoot and like the commercialization thing. I was just
yeah.
having this conversation the other day with a friend, and she didn't really realize where I was coming from about what I just mentioned, the Warren Museum. You know, they took it and flipped it.
Mm,
They're doing all these new things. They're moving the entire museum out of the museum, the Warren House, and putting it somewhere else. Just all these things and charging a freaking arm and a leg for something that, and like you said, it's going to become a parlor trick and it's going
mm,
to suck for those spirits.
But at the same time,
So,
preserving these properties is expensive, right? So I try to look at both
very
sides.
true.
And
I do.
I
Yeah.
wish there was a mechanism other than sensationalizing something that may or may not be there to actually fund the restoration of these old properties. Um,
Yeah.
maybe that's just the way it is, but we do
Well, you got to
enjoy
get the word
going.
out there somewhere, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, we've been to one property. We mentioned it too often on the show, so I'm not going to do it. But we were there one time, and we got incredible results, astonishing results actually. And the second time, it was nothing. And I do think people's personalities, like yours, Christina, that go into things wanting to experience what's there and doesn't try to manifest things that aren't. Um,
mm.
and I think properties deserve people
Yeah.
like you and us and other groups. We are chumming with the spirits. They go into places that and they just experience the surroundings. So I do enjoy communicating with people like yourselves and other groups that don't try to sensationalize things, but experience the history for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're talking about history. And I was like, you guys mind if I bring up something that I'm going to be doing soon?
Oh,
No, go
bring
ahead.
it up. No,
Yeah,
bring it up.
bring it
I
all
want to
up.
know all about you. Bring it all up.
Yeah.
So, so, back in the 1800s, and I know I had my little thing here, what I do with it, so I didn't
Back in the
forget the dates.
1800s, I love it.
But say it.
Back in the
Oh,
1800s.
Yeah, you
give
gotta
us
say
an
it with a
old
little
All
shake.
timer.
right,
Back in the 1800s. Yeah, I like it.
Yes.
little old draw.
Yes, I hear.
So about 20 minutes from where I'm located, there's a little town called Bakota,
Okay.
and back in it was from 1874 to 1886, and I'm gonna be doing a documentary on this because it's a little known history about Washington, about this prison. The town actually, they're just bringing more light to it in the last like 20 to 30 years. Before, it was kind of like a hush hush thing because of how bad it was at the
Yeah.
so I'm going to be doing a documentary about the Seatco Territorial Prison up here in Washington, and the mass graves of unknown prisoners at the Forest Grove Cemetery,
Oh,
Uh-huh.
wow.
and how it was back then in that prison. And like all the graves, like they've only been able to identify 10 of these unknown prisoners, and they don't even know how many are actually buried in this mass grave area. So I'm going to be doing a big documentary on that. The prison is not standing anymore. It was a wooden prison and eventually was destroyed in the 1920s. But I'm going to be going back and like doing like telling about the prison, what the prisoners went through, how they were treated, about the unmarked mass graves. I'm going to be going there to do investigation on the graves or the site that it's at. I actually, there's only one like real written account of that prison. Like it wasn't, nobody really like wrote down any history of it because it was so bad, but there was an actual gentleman that was a Frenchman that was an immigrant here, and he wrote a book about it. Well, he was in the prison. His book is called Struggles for Life and Home in the Northwest by George W. France, and he was a French immigrant here, and he actually spent time in the prison. He went to prison. I haven't gotten that far. I'm still kind of going through the book, but it tells about what happened to him, how he ended up in the prison. He tells about how they treated the prison, some of them, and how bad it really was.
Wow.
So I feel like I'm trying to bring more importance to that history because a lot of people are ignoring it, and I feel like unknown prisoners kind of need a voice in a sense. So that's going to be my documentary about the Sitco Territorial Prison. And like some of the things I read in here about what they did, and didn't have like separate quarters for men and women either. They just were all in there together. So
Well, I'm sure that was
that's
a
hopefully
delightful
coming
place
soon.
for the mixture of people. I can only imagine the horror that some people went through in
Yeah.
a place like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What an interesting
Yeah,
and
for
also
sure.
like important story to tell, right? Like I love that you are willing to take that on. Most people wouldn't even bother, but like good for you. Like I think that's great.
Yeah.
And also we go back to preserving history, like talking about history. And
Mhm.
we've talked about this a lot of times on this show about how important it is to preserve history and how
Well,
like if
once
we
it's
don't
gone, it's gone.
yeah, if we don't keep it, we lose it, right? Like we don't so and it could be anywhere. Like, honestly, like things about even the town that we live in, we don't know everything that went on there, and so sometimes that's really important. So
It
good,
is.
good. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah,
excited.
good for you.
I'm
it
excited
is.
for that.
Well, it's like this book, they said that he wrote a book. So I'm thinking, okay, how am I ever going to find a copy of a book from the 1800s? Luckily and it took 3.5 weeks to get here. There's a publishing company in the UK called Forgotten Books, and they have a reprint of his book.
Oh, that's very
Wow,
cool.
that is really cool.
Cost me $65.
Jeez.
But
I think that
it's
was
for the cause. It's for my documentary.
well, once you
Yeah.
finish that
So
up, let us know. We'd love to have you back on and talk about that. We love talking about forgotten history. It's something
Yeah, we
that I
do.
think it's necessary that
yes,
we remember. Can you
I'm
talk
a
to us a little bit,
history.
geek? I like that.
Go ahead.
Can you tell us a little bit about the app you created?
Yes,
My wrath.
please.
Okay, so like I said, I am not a huge fan of a lot of the AI generated and word bank apps that supposedly spirits can choose words from.
Right.
And the reason I say that, okay, I've watched a lot of lives, ghost hunting lives. That's like the majority of my evening. I have my earbuds in. I'm either cooking dinner, taking care of my animals, washing dishes, or doing laundry, and listening to the paranormal and watching people ghost hunt if I'm not out there doing it myself. So,
Listening to nothing but Darkwoods Paranormal with Gabriel Von Graves. Sorry, I had to.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the name. What was it?
It was Gabriel Von
Oh,
Graves.
Gabriel Von Graves,
thank you.
That's
Thank you so
right.
much. Yes.
We were
the
It
told
rolls
if
off
we
the
best.
said
tongue.
that
I
the
like it.
algorithm would pick it up and
All right, so hold on, let me turn up the where's the light on this thing? All right, so I said I'm not a fan of the AI generated word bank apps, but yet I
However,
carry. However, I'm always carrying my equipment. I got my Well, I don't have EMF on here. I haven't done that one yet, but people carry like an Ovulus. They carry the
mhm,
sweep
mhm.
radio, your EVP machine. Well, Wrath basically has all of those in one. I don't know if you guys can see that right
Oh,
here.
absolutely. Yeah.
can. Yeah.
So this is the Wrath feature right here. You can act it's almost like an ovulus. So it does run off internet radio broadcasts and not your normal
Hmm.
like radio station broadcasts, like which would be oh my god, is it called bandwidth?
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Bandwidth? Yeah, so it's more internet based radio, like a deep space station and stuff like that. It kind of goes like all over the place. It's almost like an ovulus style, this part is. And then you have the radio sweep. You know, you have all your controls right here. You can control your MH, your volume, your HZ. It's got the AM, FM. You can record your sessions. It has an EVP feature, and you can record EVP. It's got your library right here where you can save everything. And a handy dandy little guide telling you exactly how to use it. I'm not going to go through all that and bore you with all that information. So, but I did put a guide in there because there's a lot of apps that I've downloaded and used, and I'm like, okay, so what
How
do I
you
do
use
here?
this? Yeah.
Do I just push a button and it just does what it's supposed to do? Because there's no
Right.
guide here. There's no lesson to be learned. So okay, so I've included a how to use guide for your idiot's guide to ghost hunting wrath app. So
And what is the and what evidence have you caught with that app?
very good evidence.
Like,
They've said my name through the sweep.
oh, very cool.
The wrath, they've said my name. Barnaby's come through. When he comes through, he's just "Ba, ba, ba, ba," and I'm like, what? And he'll just, when I say ba 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 ba, I meant like nasty names. So when those come through, I know it's working. His I'm not joking. His favorite words are the C word and the B word. So when he comes through, I know it's working. When I ask, how many spirits are here, I get instant numbers. Like I asked recently, actually, it's on both of my platforms. My videos are, how many spirits are with us? It was in like 3 seconds. Four spirits, right? Can you say my name, Christina? So it's things like that I know are like valid evidence to me. I guess you would say things that you're not, if you're going to hear like music or like maybe like a thing of a broadcast system, you can learn to distinguish that with your sweeps. If you train your ears enough, you're going to learn to distinguish what is kind of like unexplainable language versus just somebody on a radio or a piece of music
And
coming through.
how did you develop this app? This is your own product, correct?
This is my own baby. Well, I sat here one day and I said, well, I'm really tired of these AI and word generated apps. What can I make that doesn't have AI technology? Now, given I used a computer to build it, of course, I used technology to build it, which is, in a sense, AI. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, So built with computer technology, but without all like the little robotic brains and stuff that everybody else is adding. I want it to be raw, natural frequencies, organic,
Mhm.
like you said. I want my app to be more organic, and I'm just trying to include like the main things that I think are simple, but give you really good evidence.
I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do
so.
too.
Can you give us kind of
Again.
a taste of how it works? Can you turn it on now so we can kind of hear it?
Yeah, well, sure. And if you guys I have it in Google testing right now for
Mhm.
Google Play Store. It's in the testing mode for that. I'm working on Apple, but I do have a link for like both if anybody wanted to try them, and it's free. So I'm not.
Well, incidentally, we will be going at the end of this month to a couple paranormal spots. Maybe it'd be
Mm-hmm.
great to highlight your product.
Oh, we
Okay.
would
The only
love to
thing
do that.
is do they have good Wi-Fi there, or can you run on your phones like
Yeah.
that way? Okay, because that's one thing that I haven't got incorporated yet is some apps you can actually run them in like airplane mode, so that
Mhm.
because if you, I don't know, have my EMF meter, I don't know if anybody knows, but if you take an EMF meter and you set it right next to your phone,
Yeah, it'll light up right up. It'll light
It
it
makes
up.
me it makes me wonder how many people are like, "Oh, look, this is a ghost."
They're getting a false reading, or like the same thing, like if you're doing
Yeah.
something with an EMF detector and all of a sudden you're lighting up and yet there's a power line right there, or
Yeah.
there's,
Yeah,
I mean,
so what
there's
I
a bridge we went to once and that was,
yeah, so what I'm trying to incorporate is that you can have it like if you're off in the field and you don't have Wi-Fi to run it, that you're still able to run it. That's like the only thing that I haven't quite figured out right yet because it's Wi-Fi based. You have to have a signal to run it. So
That's very cool. We often come across people like our buddy Johnny Vortex that creates
yeah.
product as well, but his is more digital based, I believe. He's got
mhm.
the bells and stuff. A wonderful guy. If you ever get a chance to connect with him,
There's a
he
couple
has a wonderful
people that
mind.
I follow that are making new inventions,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and I'm like, dude, as soon as I get my hands on that, I'm willing to try it. So
Right.
um
Let's say,
we'll probably go with the sweep. Let's see down here. The speed I usually go to about I'll go back there. I usually adjust my speed to about 300. I like a slow sweep on there, so it's not like it's slow,
mhm.
more slow static. Here we'll turn these up a little bit. This is the echo, the reverb, and the ghost HZ, and that all explains in the guide. I don't know if it'll, but that's like the sweep. The Wrath does not have any. Of course, I don't think anybody's going to come through in this amount of time, but we'll see.
Well, can I ask some questions? Like that
Yeah.
clown doll you have that's been staring at me right behind you.
Oh,
She's
Diana, did she turn on her light?
yeah. Her name is what?
Diana.
Diane,
Diana. Why don't you have Diana say something?
We could try that. She might.
I love it.
Because she's been staring at me this whole time. I don't know about her.
She turned. That light was not on. I don't. She
No,
had
she
to.
turned it on. It went on
Okay.
not too long
Okay.
ago.
I was wondering. I'm like, I know. I. So.
She's been eyeballing
Um.
me.
Yeah. She's.
Staring at you, Gabriel.
She's been staring at me. I've been looking at her. I'm like, you know what?
But she
Blink.
knows you don't like
You know?
dolls. So
Right.
she's like, hey. If she winks at you,
Having
there's
like a
something else.
staring contest with
All
that
right.
doll. I
Let me
don't
get
know.
I
out of
think
here.
she'd win.
What's that? A speaker? Diana, do you want to say hello? Thank you for turning on your light for us. That was very kind of you. Show everybody that you're here.
Say hi to old Gabriel Von Graves.
Yeah, maybe not today, huh?
What about the doll right underneath Diana?
I'm sorry, what?
What about the doll right beneath Diana with the beautiful dress? Yes.
This one, actually, you know what? I got here. Let me swing you guys around here real quick.
Yeah, swing is around.
Okay, so. All right, so like this one, right? All right, hold on a second. If you, this is a rim pup. It's actually a rim pod with a leash. It's like a little puppy.
I love it.
And yeah, so you touch his head. Well, probably not when I'm holding it, but you touch his leash.
Hmm.
My dog tried to steal this earlier. It's funny. So this gal and this gal, I actually just got these two for Christmas. I don't even really think they have attachments. They may not, but my partner got those two for me for Christmas. I haven't felt any activity from them. Diana was
Hi, Diana.
she was she was scored through a Facebook auction. My friend does oddities auctions and she sells like random stuff. And she's like, anybody who wants this clown doll, get it out of my house because I can't stand it.
So
So she came home with me. And then the gal was mad later on when I showed her some videos, and she's like, "That thing's haunted." She's like, "Why did I sell it to you?" I'm like, "Because I needed to come home with me."
So
So
what's the backstory on Diana?
Diana, she came from an estate sale, as far as I know. The lady that got her went to an estate sale of an older couple that passed away. The lady had collected clown dolls.
Okay.
And she's from the East Coast. I don't know like a real history on her, but that's the history I know of her. And the fact that she's given me her name is Diana, and she is 39 years old.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I really need to dive more into like investigating their stories. I kind of just let them come here and have a home,
Okay.
I guess you would say, and if they feel like, if I feel like they're not happy here or things are happening in my house that are just not comfortable for me and I've brought something in that is newer, I might rehome it to somebody that has more experience than I
Sure.
do.
Sure.
I kind of stick with the more positive, neutral spirits.
Sure. Well, that's
So,
always good. Well, who else do you
yeah.
have there?
These two are new. These are actually Goodwill finds. I actually will take my stuff to the Goodwill and go through their toy bins. And the ladies think I'm crazy, but when I show them that something lights up an EMF meter, they're like, "Get it out of my store." So,
And you're like 50% off, and I'll take it.
yeah, right. So these two are new. This is Sarah. She's actually from my partner's grandmother's house. She's one of my most. Quit with the damn. I'm so sorry. You said no noise, and here I am with these damn toys.
I think that Gabriel just gets creeped out by these so bad. I love it.
I have no kids, Gabriel. I am a child at heart.
Okay.
These are my children.
All right.
This is Sarah. She's one of our more active girls. She loves to light up her little light a lot of the times. I'm surprised she's hasn't done it today because I just gave her a new light.
What's her name?
What's
her name?
Sarah.
Sarah, light up your little light there. Let me see it.
Are you gonna say hello? She's probably like no. But these this one along with those Raggedy Annies up there and a couple other dolls.
Why
which
is there
have not
always
really,
Raggedy Annies in a haunted collection? Always.
I didn't have them. They came from Grandma's house. My partner's grandmother passed away almost 2 years ago, and she had a bunch of dolls up in a bedroom, and they were going to throw them away. And I was like, "No, you guys are coming home with me." So, and Sarah was one of the one I got lucky with her because she has shown activity when she wants to.
Like, what does she do when she shows activity?
She likes to giggle through the spirit box. She's a giggler. When like the last like a child's laugh comes through, that's more than likely Sarah. She likes to turn on these lights. She loves the little balls.
See,
I'm getting rid of that thing. That thing is gone now.
I love it. Bye, Sarah.
Gabriel is like, what? I don't want dolls.
Oh,
Send all your dolls to Gabriel.
No, no dolls to
Send all your dolls to
No, 0 dolls to Gabriel.
All right, hold on. I just got this too.
My doll playing days are well past me. You know?
She likes things that make noise. That's why I have a lot of noisemakers around here. Like this guy, his ears light up and stuff.
Does he have a clock in his building? What's up with that?
No, it's a temperature monitor, but it's in Celsius because I bought it from a UK person.
Do you know Celsius, or do you have to like?
I do now. So it's probably about 68 degrees in here.
Okay, all right. Well.
So yeah, Barnaby, like I think the most active ones would probably be Sarah, Diana, Barnaby. This new one has turned on her lights a few times. Those three ladies in the back, I call them the three sisters. The middle one is Lucy. I haven't really learned their names yet. Those are some trippy dolls. Yeah. when they do turn their lights on, because usually the lights will change colors, they flip it to red and it just
Oh.
stays on red.
Hmm.
So everybody's got their own little quirks around here. Yeah, we're just kind of full of energy, I guess you would say. So
That's cool.
So-
Well, thank you for showing us around your haunted doll collection. That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah. I wanted
yeah.
to say though, we had the owners of the place called it's a store called the Curio in Eureka Springs. They also had a bunch of haunted items that they sell out of their store, and very interesting. But there were some things that they told us about when they would get certain haunted items that they would have to like just get them out of their store, right? Like I want to know if you've had this experience yourself. I see you're shaking your head, so I love that. I love that. I feel that there's a story time, but what have you gotten perhaps in the past that you might have had to not not taken care of?
Well, the thing in the box back there with the question mark under right there, I haven't opened him yet, and it's because I get really unsettling feelings from it, and I don't even know what made me purchase it. I really don't. I really do not. I have not messed with it. It is actually the top cranium of somebody, and
Oh,
I told myself I would never, ever, 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 ever own anything like that,
You lied to yourself.
and then I lied to myself
Yeah,
bad.
you did.
And my friend who collects those things
So
was
that's
like,
a real skull, a real piece of a skull. I
yeah,
kind of want you to show us. I'm just saying. There's
where did
something
it come
about
from?
there's a curiosity that I
I
just
I don't know the origin of it. It came from I don't know exactly if it came from America or from a different country. It's been through probably 3 different people before I got it. But the person that reached out to me, one of my online friends that collects some serious oddities, and he collects these. He's probably got a collection of like 15 of them. This one, he was like, "Hey, Christina, I got something for you." And I'm like, "What?"
how does one
Uh-huh.
how does one accomplish collecting somebody's cranium? How does that come about?
Well, hopefully it's ethically sourced through medical science.
Right.
That's what we would hope.
No, that's the way
That's
I
what
would have answered that question.
in the
Just saying.
in the perfect world we would hope that
Right.
it was ethically sourced. But use your imagination.
So does
We
it have
actually
hair and stuff? I mean, is that what it has?
All right,
Oh, Jesus,
okay,
she's
I'll
gonna
do it.
bring it over. Mm.
She's
I
gonna
don't
do
know.
it.
I don't want to. I just
Diana.
didn't want to get you guys in trouble.
Well,
Um,
I don't think we're gonna get us in trouble.
I
I
love
was gonna
that.
say for anybody who's listening to the audio version, you should check out this part and then you
Yeah,
they
yeah, we're
would
about to
do.
see ya.
As I said,
Oh,
it's just like the top half. It's not even like the full thing, but
Right.
but he got a hold of me and he's like, I got something here that I think you'd be interested in. And I'm like, I told you I don't keep those in my house. And he's like, well, maybe you can find somebody that will take it off your hands.
As
And
you
I was
grab,
like,
I love
well,
it. I love it. As you
and
have it in your house,
then his wife got on the phone and she's like, can you please take this?
and you're like, yeah, I'll take it home. Yeah.
She's like, listen, I
Yeah.
will pay you to take it here.
No, like literally, like she's okay with everything she has. This one came in the house and things started, and I've got energy all the way around, anyways, and I haven't taken it out of the box. I feel if I don't give it my energy right now, that it'll be okay for right now. So it's when I start giving my energy to it that I feel uneasy about it. So
There's suspense.
Yeah, there's a morbid curiosity going here. So what happens when you have so much energy? I mean, do they get along? What happens when the energies don't get along that you have in your house?
Oh,
I haven't really messed with this, so I couldn't really tell
Oh,
you. I
okay.
kind of keep it in its box. I do like smudge a lot in my home and stuff like that. I will like put boundary. You can call them spells, but basically, I'm telling them you stay there for now until we decide what to do with you.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool.
So you just have to be really, it's all about intention. If you have your boundaries, unless they're just like a really little demon.
So Diana just turned her light to red and now it's green again. She just went red for a second.
Yeah.
Hi, Diana. Oh,
Hi, Diana.
Oh,
blue.
sorry.
That was blue,
Okay. It does not have hair.
yeah. Does it smell?
No, it doesn't smell. It's very,
Okay.
very, very, very old. Oh my god, a little piece just came
Wow.
off.
So that's a cranium of somebody's head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I did one video of this when I got it, and it's posted on my TikTok, I believe, and I didn't even notice it until somebody came through and said, "Did you see that orb that came out of the box?"
Oh,
I don't know if you guys do. I don't know if you guys know about orbs, but
we
it
had an
was
experience once
like,
that we had orbs everywhere. So yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I didn't even notice it until after it was like a day or two later. Somebody commented and they're like, "Dude, did you see the orb coming out of that box?" And I watched it, and it was literally like light. I mean, there was some substance there. So yeah,
Hmm.
we'll name him Fred.
Fred the cranium. Yeah.
Fred.
I don't even know if it's a girl or a boy, but Fred
No,
has come
Fred
to
the
live with
cranium. I
me.
guess you'll find out, you know.
Fred works. Fred
Yeah, Fred
works.
works.
Yeah, and he's very, very. Yeah, he's actually starting to chip on the top. I need to get him into like a display box or something. But
Right. Under
I'm
glass. Absolutely.
this is things that I have a room I'm setting up for like the more darker stuff that I might not be able to handle that can stay in there,
Mm.
Right.
type thing.
That's interesting. Like so Gabriel and I, we tell the story, and I will just very, very briefly touch on it. Um, that we've been in a place where this man that we met was a
Oh,
haunted
the
collector.
vampire. Yes.
The vampire. He was a
No, he
haunted
was a cool
collector.
dude. I mean, you know,
He
I
was
gotta give him
very
a little bit of
cool.
respect. Yeah.
He was very cool, but that's what he did, and he collected haunted items. And the craziest part of that is, Gabriel and I also believe that you have to feel things, right?
Mhm.
So, like, everybody has their tools of investigating that they use, etc. But when it comes down to it, you have to be able to feel what's going on. And that house was so overpowering in certain spaces of that house. Like, there was a room for sure
It
that
was
was a
crazy.
locked room,
Yeah.
that when he opened that door, you could feel that energy just coming right
Literally,
out
when
of
he
that
opened
room.
that door and the door opened towards, you could feel the energy come at you. I mean,
Just
it was some
feeling it.
crazy stuff. Of course,
I bet you, I
he had some
guarantee
Satan
he had
items there
some
and
type
stuff.
of binding on that door, like not
I
not
think he
like
just let
lock
him
wise,
run
but like
rapid in there.
spiritual wise.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't even think of that. My question though is, how do you live in a space where you're purposely you're bringing, spirits in, and for you, I mean, you seem like you're a caretaker, you're a nurturer. You want to protect them, you want to take care of them, but at the same time, you don't know what you're bringing into your house. So how do you live in a space where you are inviting all of these things in, and how do you protect? I know you said you sage and all of this, but how do you not just protect yourself in the way of saging, but like your mental health as well,
That's
because
the
these
Good
things
question.
good
also.
question.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to turn off the switch. Like there's times that I have to literally ignore them,
Hmm.
like the energy, because it can get intense. You know, there's just sometimes when I'm like, okay, you guys, chatter, 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 bring it down a few notches. The energy needs to subside. I have to. There's Who was it? I think it might have been Barnaby when I first got. Like I said, I didn't open him for 3 months. But when I did open him up, the energy was so for like a week. It was like almost like static electricity around here. Like
Wow.
almost like when you touch
Hmm.
something pop, but it
Right.
was almost like you could hear little pops here, and the energy was just weird. Um, I think it's just more about drawing your boundaries, having those intentions. If you do bring something that you think is negative, deal with it accordingly. Like I said, I'm now making a room for more negative things. And if I do bring something home that I feel like just is out of place and just doesn't fit, I guess you would say, or fit with my energy, that's another reason to rehome,
I
you
love that.
know. And I will reach out to somebody that's more experienced than me. Like I've gotten to know the Phantoms Follows. I've actually rehomed a couple of things with him. Barnaby almost went to the Tony Spira, he almost went to the Warren Museum or whatever
Oh,
that museum.
right.
It was maybe not his movie. Who's the Tony Spira is was he the daughter's husband or friend or I can't remember. Anyways, I was so intimidated by Barnaby when, before I opened him up that I almost thought about rehoming him with somebody more
Mhm.
advanced than me that could take care of
Sure.
him. I reached out to a few people and then I did my EVPs with him and he just started cussing at me. I'm like, okay, all right, okay, fine. So we just get along. Like I said, he's a grumpy old man. I just don't think anybody understood him. He doesn't like religion. I think he may have been like one of those guys that, just an old life. Like he was the old man that stood on the porch that probably hated the kids in the neighborhood and like riding
Sure.
their bikes
Come on.
past
Yeah.
or,
Sure.
or something like that, and he probably
Yeah.
died old, bitter, and alone and ended up in a teddy bear for some reason. I think he went into that teddy bear probably after he passed, probably whoever moved in after that, so he could have something to attach to. You were talking about,
Mhm.
why they attach to things. Sometimes they just attach to it because they have to attach to something. They're like, I'm just kind of lost here. I need something, you know.
Well,
That
it's
kind of
been a
So,
almost makes
fascinating
sense.
conversation. Where
Yeah.
where can people find you, Christina?
oh, my pages.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm on the TT, the TikTok, under Medusa Paranormal, and on
Medusa
YouTube.
Paranormal. Right.
Yeah, I'm more on the TT than I am on the YT. I'm building my YouTube. I'm starting to post a lot more videos there because I've noticed that I'm starting to get a little bit more traction there.
Well, good for
But
you.
I started posting my stories like a few years back. Yeah, I'm just like, everybody's doing it. Why not? I have my experiences. I have my collection, things that I do. I like to go out in my cemeteries. When I'm mad at my partner, I go to the cemetery 5 minutes down the road and just sit there.
Sure. Well, I love that. Well,
Is
Raven,
that every other day?
Yeah.
Raven,
I'm
what
like,
do
I'm
you
gonna
have
go
going
talk
on
to
in
the
that
dead
world?
people. They're more interesting. So,
Right.
yeah.
So what we have going on, Gabriel, like you'd actually mentioned, end of the month we are headed to, I don't know if I'm even saying the name of the town right, but
Yeah,
Stanton,
Stan.
Kentucky. We will
Stan,
be at
Kentucky.
the
Say it with you
Red
like you
River.
mean it. Stan,
Yes,
Kentucky.
Stanton, Kentucky. Now I've been saying it wrong the whole time,
That's all right.
but Stanton, Kentucky, it is the Red River Gorge Bigfoot Festival, which is supposed to be, according to things I've seen, bless you, things I've seen, huge festival. So super excited to go
Right.
talk about Gabriel's favorite topic, Bigfoot,
Bigfoot.
with all of the locals. And
I'll be right back.
we
Give me one
Yeah.
second.
No, no. You're good.
We have also, we're also going to be going to a haunted funeral home, doing an investigation there,
Hmm.
and a couple of other things out in that area. So it is going to be very exciting. As always, all of our podcasts are out. We've always got amazing guests. So,
And
yeah,
we'll
and
be going
then
alive, I believe, in a couple of those places. In fact, we're going to experiment with light when it comes to the funeral home. Is that correct?
I think so.
I
Yeah,
love that. So do
yeah.
join us at the end of the
Oh,
month for
okay.
sure to watch that. So
Oh, and
go
also
ahead.
don't forget to plug the fact that you have an all new episode. Gabriel Von Graves himself has an all new episode coming out tomorrow morning on
I do.
all of the
Are you guys
platforms.
going to be doing the investigation on here live, or you're
We're
just
gonna
going to post?
try. It all depends on the
On our
crappy
what?
internet. Yeah.
Depends on the internet.
Some places in the middle of nowhere we have great internet, and then we're in the middle of everything and we don't have any. It's great. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
so
weird how that
yeah.
works, but yeah.
So we do plan on doing a live investigation on here, along with TikTok and all that fun stuff. We'll be experiencing with organic light to see if that helps when it comes to a funeral parlor, and then we will
Organic
be
light. What do you mean organic
organic
light?
light. You'll have to watch
I was gonna
organic
say,
light.
well, you can't give all the secrets
Yes,
away
organic light.
just yet.
And then we will be visiting, depending on if everything goes well, a an abandoned amusement park built on top of a Indian burial ground with a body count. So that'll be
I'm
interesting.
so jealous.
In West Virginia. So hopefully
What?
the
Yeah,
food's
West
good.
Virginia.
We were looking up what Kentucky's known for, and they're known for fried chicken. I'm not making that up. That's actually what it is.
No, they
And
are. Colonel
and
Sanders, right?
yeah, I didn't put it together
No,
until
I
I looked it
didn't
up,
either.
and I'm like, of course. So I'm looking for barbecue, and we're gonna have KFC. So it's great. It's
It's
fine.
the funniest part is that I not only love the paranormal, but I love food. So
Yeah,
every place we
Guilty.
go, I'm like,
yeah.
what's a good place? Like, what is this location known for? And not even thinking about it, it's Kentucky.
Chicken,
It's
fried
Kentucky
chicken.
Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Kentucky Fried
That's
Chicken.
great. That's
Thank
So
you
great.
very much.
tonight's journey into the unknown reminds us that paranormal is not always something found in books, movies, or television show. Sometimes it begins with single experiences like we've learned today. A very special thank you to Christina of Medusa Paranormal, creator of Wrath Spirit app, investigator, collector of all kinds of weird things. For more than 3 decades, Christina has dedicated herself to exploring the unexplained, relying not only on technology but her instincts. We love that. So we want to thank everybody for joining us here at Darkwoods Paranormal. Do stay safe, curious, and tune in next time. Thank you very much. Christina, why don't you hang on for a second?
All right, will do. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody, for having me.
Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And
I don't
it's
know if
that's my cue to stop.